Season 13 of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta has flipped the entire franchise on its head and, baby, fans are shook. Just when you thought the drama had cooled down, Atlanta said "hold my wig," and came back with the most explosive, scandal-filled, emotionally charged season yet. We're talking surprise pregnancies, secret hookups, unexpected returns, and a betrayal so raw that it's tearing families apart and leaving friendships in flames. From the moment the cameras started rolling, it was clear nothing would be the same again. Rashida's marriage, on life support, Spice, at war with a former ally turned bitter enemy, and young Jock, oh you won't believe the mess he's landed himself in this time. Add to that a new cast member who came with more secrets than the IRS and a bombshell accusation that's about to rock every corner of the ATL music scene. Tears were shed, drinks were thrown, and alliances were shattered before the first episode even ended. Emotions ran high as private conversations were leaked, betrayal was caught on camera, and somebody's husband got put on full blast in front of the entire cast on purpose. But the real shocker? A once unbreakable friendship turned into an all-out feud that left one cast member storming off set and threatening to quit the show for good. And just when you think it couldn't get any messier, a secret video surfaced that might just ruin one cast member's entire reputation forever. So buckle up, because we're about to break down everything that happened in Season 13 of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, from the juicy reveals to the jaw-dropping moments that had social media on fire. This is your all-access pass to the behind-the-scenes chaos that's turning ATL upside down. Get ready, because everything has changed and we've got all the tea. It all started at Rashida and Kirk Frost's new lounge opening an event meant to mark a new beginning. But instead, it set the stage for Season 13's emotional chaos. The cameras panned over Atlanta's elite hip-hop royalty. All smiles and champagne, but underneath that gloss was a bubbling tension, ready to explode. Rashida had been putting on a brave face for months, hiding the cracks forming in her marriage. But on this night, something snapped. She caught Kirk in a hushed conversation with a new artist named Maya. Blaze-on up-and-coming singer with a body that turned heads and a voice that melted egos. Rashida saw the way Maya touched Kirk's arm, the way he leaned in just a little too close, and that was it. She didn't wait for the cameras to cut, she marched right across the floor, yanked Kirk's drink out of his hand, and demanded to know what was going on. The entire lounge went silent. Kirk tried to laugh it off, but Rashida wasn't having it. "You disrespect me in my place of business," she snapped, eyes blazing. "You got me looking stupid out here." Again, the tension cracked like thunder, and before Kirk could answer, Maya stepped forward with a smirk that said too much. "Maybe if you took care of your man at home, he wouldn't be so thirsty in public," she said smoothly, and that one line sent Rashida into a storm. Security had to step in, drinks were spilled, wigs were nearly snatched, and just like that the opening turned into a war zone. The fallout from that night spilled into every corner of the cast's lives. Rashida moved out of the house and into a condo on the West End. Kirk tried to smooth things over, claiming the conversation with Maya was strictly business. But Rashida wasn't buying a test, especially not after she received an anonymous DM the next morning. Attached was a blurry photo of Kirk and Maya entering a hotel together just a week prior. No context, no timestamp, but enough to ignite the fire. Rashida posted a cryptic message on her story. "Loyalty isn't tested when things are easy. It's tested when they think you're not watching." Fans immediately picked up on it, and within hours, Kirk was trending again for all the wrong reasons. Meanwhile, Spice was dealing with her own storm. After her miraculous recovery and comeback, she was on a high, but her friendship with Erica Mena had taken a dark turn. Erica had returned this season claiming to be a changed woman, a better co-parent, and spiritually centered. But Spice wasn't buying it, and during a girls' brunch hosted by Bambi, things got ugly. Erica brought up an old beef in front of the entire group, accusing Spice of clout chasing by faking the depth of her near-death experience. The room went ice cold. Spice stood up slowly, took off her shades, and said in a voice low and deadly, "You wanna play with death like it's a storyline? Let's talk about what's really fake around here." The women started yelling, drinks were flung, and Sierra tried to break it up but got knocked by a flying mimosa. Erica stormed out, screaming that the show was biased against her, while Spice screamed back, "Don't let the door hit you like your baby daddy did." That one line went viral in seconds. Fans were divided, some saying Spice went too far, others claiming Erica had it coming. The drama reignited a long feud and left the cast torn down the middle. But while the ladies were going at it, young Jock was quietly spiraling. His wife Kendra had moved out months ago, and word on the street was that she'd found out about a secret love child. Jock denied it at first, brushing it off as gossip and hate, but when a young woman named Janaea showed up at the studio, claiming her 3-year-old son was Jock's and she had receipts it was impossible to ignore. She came with paternity papers, text messages, and even a picture of Jock holding the baby at a private meetup 2 years ago. "I didn't want to blow up your life," Janaea said through tears, in front of the cameras. "But my son deserves to know his father, and I'm tired of the lies." Jock broke down crying. Real, ugly crying. Not for the cameras, but because he knew it was true. He'd met Janaea during a rough patch with Kendra, told himself it didn't count, and buried the truth. But now, the lie was digging its way out in front of the world. "I ain't proud of it," he whispered to Safari during a late-night heart-to-heart. "I ain't proud of none of this." Safari, who was trying to repair his own image this season, nodded solemnly. "Bro, this the season of reckoning. The truth is cumin for all of us." And he wasn't wrong. Because the biggest shock of all hadn't even dropped yet. Back at her condo, Rashida was scrolling through messages when she found a burner Instagram account sending her videos that showed more than just Kirk flirting. They showed a heated exchange between Maya and a familiar face. Someone Rashida once trusted with her life. The man in the footage, none other than Scrappy. The camera cuts to Rashida gasping, hand over her mouth, as she plays the video again. Maya and Scrappy, in a dimly lit parking lot, whispering urgently, then suddenly kissing passionately. "Oh my god," she whispered. "Scrappy, ... And that's where everything changed. Because Scrappy was supposed to be her brother, her family, and now he might be the one who tore her whole world apart. Rashida couldn't sleep that night. The image of Scrappy and Maya kissing looped in her mind like a bad music video she couldn't shut off. Her heart wasn't just broken. It was obliterated. This wasn't just about Kirk being disloyal again. This was betrayal on another level. Scrappy wasn't just a colleague or a castmate, he was family. He had been there through her darkest moments, even helped her forgive Kirk during his past cheating scandals, and now he was creeping with the same girl who just tried to blow up her marriage. Rashida had receipts now. But what she didn't have was an explanation, and she was about to get one, whether Scrappy liked it or not. The next morning, Rashida pulled up to Scrappy's house, unannounced, cameras in tow, mic hot, and fury on full display. He opened the door in a tank top, clearly just waking up, and she didn't waste time. "We family, right?" she snapped, shoving her phone into his face. "So why the hell am I seeing you swapping spit with the same chick trying to destroy my marriage?" Scrappy blinked like he'd seen a ghost. "Yo, what? Where did you get this? You think that matters?" Rashida shouted. "You think how I found out is the problem? Or the fact that you out here messin' with the same thirsty little snake that's been trying to crawl into my man's bed?" Scrappy tried to defend himself, said it was a one-time thing, a mistake, that he didn't know she was involved with Kirk. But Rashida wasn't buying it. "You knew exactly what she was on. And you still went behind my back. This ain't no mistake, Scrap. This is disrespect." Scrappy looked genuinely torn. "I never meant to hurt you. I swear on everything. Me and Maya, we was vibin' one night. I didn't even know what it was. But I ain't know she had ties to Kirk. I wouldn't have touched her if I did." His voice cracked a little. You, my sister. I ain't never wanted to come between y'all." But Rashida, tears threatening, just shook her head. "You already did." And with that, she walked out, slamming the door so hard the frame shook. The news spread like wildfire. Spice heard about it and was livid. She called Scrappy out in front of everyone at a video shoot, telling him flat out, "You move like a snake and smile like a saint. Which one is it, Scrappy?" He tried to joke it off, but Spice wasn't in the mood. "You crossed Rashida, you crossed all of us." Sierra sided with Rashida too, which sparked a whole new mess. Bambi, Scrappy's ex, chimed in with her 2 cents, too. "Now y'all see why I left. This man don't think past the moment. He'd kiss a grenade, if it smiled the right way." And while the ladies were dragging Scrappy in group texts and confessionals, Kirk was trying to do damage control. He showed up at Rashida's condo with flowers, a long speech, and tears in his eyes. "I ain't perfect, but I'm yours. Always been yours," he said. "Don't let Maya or some messy footage come between us." But Rashida wasn't melting this time. She told Kirk she needed actions, not apologies. "This ain't about Maya anymore," she said coldly. "It's about every time I had your back, and you let me down anyway." Meanwhile, Maya herself was basking in the chaos. In her first confessional, she smirked. "I didn't come here to make friends, I came to make moves. And if that ruffles a few feathers, so be it." Her attitude rubbed everybody the wrong way, but especially Erica Dixon, who made a surprise appearance at a glam party hosted by Spice. Erica had been off the show for a minute, but she was back with a vengeance and some tea about Maya that would send season 13 into overdrive. "Y'all keep talking about Maya like she's new to the scene," Erica said with a wicked smile, "but ask her about DJ Briscoe from Miami. Or better yet, ask her what happened in LA with that producer from her so-called record deal." Everyone froze. Maya, who had just walked into the party, caught the tail end of that and immediately charged at Erica. "You don't know me like that, so keep my name out your mouth," she spat, but Erica wasn't backing down. "I do know you. And I know exactly the kind of games you play. You burn every bridge you cross, baby. And I ain't letting you do it here." Security rushed in, separating the women as nails flew and glasses shattered. Erica was escorted out, but the damage was done. Maya's mask had slipped. She wasn't just some sexy newcomer, she had a past. A messy, calculated one. And now everyone was questioning her motives. Was she really after Kirk? Or was she just looking for the biggest storyline she could snatch? Back at the studio, Jock was dealing with the fallout from his paternity drama. Kendra refused to speak to him and had filed for a legal separation. The rest of the cast tried to be there for him, but even Safari started keeping his distance. "It's one thing to have a baby," he said during a tense sit-down. "It's another to lie about it for years and then act surprised when it blows up." Jock, frustrated and isolated, began spiraling again, missing shoots, drinking too much, and even showing up late to a charity event that was being filmed for the show. Mona Scott Young herself had to step in, warning him that one more slip-up and he was off the cast. And then, because drama multiplies, an Atlanta fan account leaked a new piece of footage. This time, it showed Maya at a dinner with a producer named Rico Chase, someone known for trying to manipulate reality TV storylines for clout. In the video, Maya was heard saying, "Watch how I flip this Rashida beef into my glow-up. Trust me, the audience eats betrayal." That one clip changed everything. The cast erupted. Rashida cried real tears. "I was out here doubting my own instincts, thinking maybe I was too paranoid. Nah, I was being played." She planned this, and Scrappy. He finally saw the footage, too. He called Maya to confront her, and their fight was caught on camera. "You used me," he said. "You weaponized me against Rashida." "That's sick." Maya, defiant as ever, just replied, "You were a grown man who made a choice. Don't blame me for how easy you folded." Scrappy walked away, silent, jaw clenched. He later admitted in his confessional, "I think I lost a sister, a friend, and my damn dignity all in one season." But this war wasn't over. Not even close. Because just as the dust started to settle, a new bombshell dropped in. This one was going to expose everyone. The bombshell came from the most unexpected place: on intern. Yep, a fresh-faced, behind-the-scenes production assistant who had been quietly capturing BRL on her phone and accidentally stumbled upon a conversation that was never meant to be heard. She tried to report it quietly, but the footage somehow leaked to a blog that's notorious for spilling love and hip-hop secrets. The video, two executive producers quote on Hot Mic discussing how certain cast members were being manipulated into storylines without their knowledge. Worse, it revealed that Maya Blaze had been planted into the show with the specific intention of shaking up Rashida and Kirk's marriage. "I told Maya, get in good with Kirk. Be the storm, not the drizzle," one of the producers was heard saying, laughing. "Rashida's too stable. We need mess." The reaction from fans was swift and brutal. "So this ain't reality anymore, it's sabotage," one Twitter user wrote. Another said, "Rashida deserves better. This is psychological warfare." Social media exploded. Hashtag Justice for Rashida began trending. Rashida, watching the clip in real time while filming a confessional, broke down crying. "So it was never about love. It was never even about Kirk. I was a target for ratings." Her voice cracked. "I gave this show everything. My family, my heart, my pain. And they scripted my heartbreak." She stormed off set, refusing to film for a week. Mona Scott Young, facing a PR nightmare, flew into Atlanta personally to try and calm the cast. Meanwhile, Maya Blaze had gone radio silent, her social accounts were locked. She skipped to scheduled shoots. And then bam, she reappeared on a rival podcast, uninvited, spilling her side of the story. "I wasn't forced into anything," she said with a shrug. "Yeah, they gave me a direction, but I chose my path. Kirk wanted attention. I gave it to him. Scrappy, he begged for it. And Rashida, she ain't the queen she pretends to be. She's just the loudest one in the castle." Once again, the cast was divided. Spice was done. "That little girl better pray I don't see her at the reunion," she said, pacing during a scene with Sierra. "She's not just messy, she's dangerous." Sierra agreed but had another concern. "If the producers are playing us, like, chess pieces, who's next?" As the group tried to heal from the fallout. One person seemed to be watching it all with eerie calm. Carly Red. She'd been quiet this season, too quiet. But now she stepped forward with a secret she'd been holding for months. During a private dinner with Rashida, she dropped it like a bomb. "I wasn't gonna say nothin', but I can't hold it in no more," she whispered, clutching Rashida's hand. "There's another woman, and she's pregnant, and it ain't Maya." Rashida went still. "What are you talking about?" Carly's voice was low. "Kirk has been messing with someone else. Quietly. For over a year, and she's 4 months along." The world stopped spinning. Rashida didn't scream. She didn't cry. She just said, "Give me a name." And Carly, eyes glistening, said it. "Her name is Tamika. She used to bartend at Frost Bistro." The next day, Rashida confronted Kirk. Cameras were rolling. Kirk was in the backyard, pacing, already sweating. "Before you say anything," he started, "I didn't want you to find out like this, so it's true." Rashida's voice was calm, deadly. Calm. Kirk nodded, tears welling. "It was a mistake. A one-time thing. I didn't know she kept the baby." Rashida slapped him. Not a dramatic, staged slap, a real one. The mic cracked. The producers panicked. "Get out," she said, "and don't come back." Kirk, broken, walked away silently. Elsewhere, Jock was finally trying to clean up his life. He met up with Jania, apologized sincerely, and agreed to take full responsibility for their child. He even invited her to meet Kendra. Kendra would speak to him. Safari, watching Jack's growth, decided to make a big move of his own. Was going to propose to a woman he'd been secretly dating off camera? But here's where things turned mad. That woman. She was none other than Tamika, the same Tamika, pregnant with Kirk's baby. This was no coincidence. This was full-blown scandal. When Safari introduced her at a cast dinner, jaws hit the floor. Rashida, seated 2 chairs away, turned pale. "This has to be a joke," she whispered. Safari, confused, asked what was wrong. And that's when everything came out. In front of the full cast. In front of Tamika. "Why didn't you tell him?" Rashida asked coldly. Tamika tried to deflect. "I didn't know he knew Kirk." "You're pregnant by my husband? And you're standing here, smiling in his boy's face?" Safari turned to Tamika, stunned. "You're pregnant?" She tried to explain, but it was too late. Safari walked out. Rashida followed. Cameras kept rolling. And Tamika, she was left alone in the middle of the chaos she'd helped create. Meanwhile, Erica Mena returned once again, this time with legal documents. She was suing the producers for defamation, claiming they allowed lies to be aired without context. Her lawsuit threatened to halt the reunion taping altogether. And in the final scene of the season, Rashida stood in front of Frost Bistro, staring up at the sign. Alone. "Everything's changed," she said. "Everything I thought I knew was a lie, but I'm still standing." The reunion was supposed to be the moment where closure could happen, where the cast could finally confront the madness, unpack the betrayals, and try to stitch together what was left of their fractured lives. But as everyone took their seats on the sparkling, icy blue set, lit with soft gold lights and dripping with elegance, the tension in the room was unbearable. Rashida walked in dressed in all white, a symbolic reset, but her face said everything. She wasn't here for peace. She was here for war. Across the stage, Kirk sat with his head down, looking like a man walking into his own funeral. Safari sat off to the side, stone-faced, avoiding eye contact with Tamika, who'd been separated from the group backstage at Rashida's request. Mona Scott Young, acting as host, opened the reunion with her usual grace, but even she seemed uneasy. "Season 13 was unlike anything we've seen before," she said. "Secrets, sabotage, new blood, and betrayals that hit deeper than we ever imagined." So let's talk about it. The first explosion came just 20 minutes in when the footage of the producers scheming with Maya was played live on set. The cast gasped. Bambi covered her mouth. Sierra looked ready to cry. Scrappy stood up, fists clenched. This what we do now? We puppets. Spice jumped in. I knew something felt off this season. We wasn't reacting to real life, we was reacting to setups. The producers tried to defend themselves through a pre-recorded statement, claiming all cast members signed contracts and were aware of the direction of the show, but nobody bought it. The damage was done. Rashida turned to Kirk. You let them use us. You let them use me. You let our whole life become a circus, and you stood there and watched. Kirk tried to interject, voice shaking. I didn't know how deep it went. I just wanted to fix our image, our image. Rashida laughed, bitter and broken. This isn't about the public. This is about our son asking me why people online are calling his daddy a dog. She wiped her eyes. You let them destroy me, and now I can't even recognize the man I married. Safari, in one of the season's most shocking moments, took the mic and addressed Tamika directly. I didn't know, I didn't see it, but now I do. And you know what? Maybe I was looking for someone to fix me. But you were looking for a come-up, and I was just your elevator. Tamika tried to respond, but Safari stood up and walked off stage. The audience fell silent. Even Mona didn't stop him. But then came the final twist. Maya Blaze appeared, uninvited. She walked onto the stage in heels that clicked like a villainess from a movie. Hair slicked back, makeup sharp as knives. Security hesitated, but Mona let her speak. I got a lot of hate this season, Maya began, but let's get real. I did what y'all too scared to do. I shook the table. I exposed the rot. I played the game better than any of you. Scrappy stood. Again. You ain't play no game. You broke people's lives. Maya smirked. And y'all gave me the matches. I just lit the fire. That was it. Rashida stood too. You want a moment? You got it? Let me give you one last headline. I've filed for divorce. I've signed the papers. And I'm done being the loyal wife while the world laughs at my pain. The crowd gasped. Kirk looked like he was about to faint. And as for you, Rashida pointed to Maya. Enjoy your 15 minutes, because they're over. Maya's smile slipped for the first time. The rest of the reunion was a blur of shouting, tears, walk-offs, and silent stares. Erica Mina's lawsuit was mentioned but not discussed in detail. Jock was brought out briefly to share he was now co-parenting peacefully and had entered therapy. Kendra chose not to attend. Scrappy and Bambi shared a rare.com moment, holding hands silently. Spice performed a powerful song about betrayal that left the room in stunned silence. As the cameras rolled on the final moments of the reunion, Mona gave her closing remarks. But the real ending came from Rashida. She walked backstage, removed her mic, and looked directly into the camera crew's lens. You think this was just TV? No, this was real life. It was my life. But from now on, I'm writing the script. Y'all can keep the drama. I'm keeping my peace. The screen faded to black. Then a final message appeared. Rashida has officially filed for divorce from Kirk Frost. Filming for season 14 has not yet been confirmed. And there you have it, Love and Hip Hop Atlanta season 13 wasn't just a show, it was an earthquake. Friendships destroyed. Families torn apart. Betrayals no one saw coming. From Rashida's quiet strength in the face of total heartbreak, to shattered loyalty, to Safari's gut-wrenching humiliation, this season left no one untouched. And Maya Blaze. Whether you see her as a villain, a victim, or just a woman playing the game, one thing's for sure, she changed the landscape of Atlanta's reality forever. Kirk's silence spoke volumes. Tamika's double life left a crater. Erica's lawsuit is still looming. And with the producers now under fire for crossing the line between reality and manipulation, fans are questioning everything. Was any of it ever real? Or were these people just characters in someone else's twisted script? The truth is, season 13 blurred the lines so much, it left even the cast questioning what was authentic. But in the ashes of all this chaos, one thing stood tall: Rashida's power. Her evolution from wife and businesswoman to a woman who finally said enough gave fans the closure they needed. Or did it? So now, we turn it over to you. Was Rashida right to walk away? Did Maya go to Faroer? Was she just playing the game better than the rest? And should Love and Hip Hop Atlanta even come back for season 14 after this level of betrayal? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. No holding back. Be sure to smash that like button if you were gagged by the drama, subscribe for more jaw-dropping breakdowns. And don't forget to turn on that notification bell, because if this is what Season 13 gave us, imagine what's coming next. We're watching, we're waiting, and we'll be right here when the next secret explodes. Until then, stay messy, stay messy,